Hello and welcome to Season 5 of the Club Series here on Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live. Paul Smith here, alongside me Adam Bath and Samuli Kumo, and we're at the halfway stage of this championship now, and we're going into the second half of the season where everything will matter now. This is where the part of the season where the drivers now know where they are in the championship and if they can make an assault on the championship. And this week we're coming to you from Oran Park. It's a circuit that's not often used in many series now, so a bit of a new one to the majority of the field, and it's going to throw up some interesting racing, that's for sure. And Adam, well, we're at the halfway point of the season, and already we're seeing sort of groups of drivers who are maybe looking at putting a push for the title here.
Yeah, and it's some familiar faces. We'll run you through the championship standings then straight away. At the top of the broadcast, Matt Bunn leads Diogo Melro, the reigning series champion, by 14 points. Michael Hall in third, so Diogo Melro in a CQR sandwich there. Then Ben Gregory is in fourth for GVR, 82 points behind Matt Bunn. And then 6 points behind Gregory, it's Piers Pryor. So the top five pretty close together there. Alex Everett, privateer, doing very well in 6th place. Scott Malcolm in 7th, a good 40 or so points back. Then it's Clinton Bell, Tom Stanley and Chris Wood rounding out the top 10. Over in the Tier 2 standings, Scott Malcolm leads Andrew Woodhouse by 52 points. Andrew Woodhouse not here this weekend, incidentally. Max Wright in third, and then joint fourth we've got Tristan Boddice and Stuart McFadden. Jim Flanagan in 6th, 7th Perry Warburton, 8th Sean Gardner, and then joint 9th we've got Jason Rowe and Mark Woodhouse. And finally in the team standings, heading into the second half of the season, we've got CQR leading Team Mad, last year's team's champions, by 208 points, with Club 73 with Nitro helmets 3rd, Automech Academy 4th, GVR 5th, Radical Racing UK in 6th, Brit Modeler 7th, 8th Club 73 with Hive Hill Motorcycles, Team Dial Up in 9th, Boosted Motorsport in 10th, Kunstvoller Subaru for You in 11th, GBR2 Ultraplay 12th, Isla Base Automech in 13th, and Electric Motorsports in 14th.
So yeah, that's the standings as they are at the moment. And well, I was mentioning it at the top of the broadcast here, Adam. We're at Oran Park. We're in Australia, so we've continued our tour of Australia after Bathurst last week. And as I said, it's a very little used track on iRacing in series. So what sort of a challenge will this give to drivers? Because pretty much all the drivers have never driven here.
Yeah, it's an interesting circuit. It's a figure of 8 layout, those of you that have never seen it before, and it was used for V8 Supercars up until 2008, I think, and it was demolished in 2010 for a housing estate project, so a rare occasion to see the circuit in use here. iRacing managed to later scan the circuit before its closure. And yeah, it's a pretty narrow circuit. I think that makes it pretty good for touring car racing. It'll mean that the drivers will have to get their elbows out quite a bit, and they'll have to try and find some overtaking spots on the circuit, because looking at what's been happening in practice and qualifying, you're going to have to work hard to try and get an overtake done around here. Yeah,
it certainly is. A 1.6 mile layout here. We're getting a lap done in about 1 minute 7 seconds for the fast drivers, so a short lap here, so we're going to get plenty of action here in the 20 minutes of racing that we'll get tonight per race. Currently in qualifying, just looking at the standings as they are, Diogo Melro is at the top of the board with Piers Pryor in 2nd. 3rd place in Clinton Bell with Stephen Baxter. Really good to see Stephen's name up there, up in 4th place at the moment, with Chris Wood in 5th. Michael Hall and Matt Bunn, two of the main protagonists in the championship, down in 6th and 7th. Paxton 8th. Well, he's dropped down to 9th now because Pete Newman's jumped up into 3rd place. So it's really close times here, Adam. We were just discussing this before the broadcast. There's just over a second covering 1st to 21st.
Yeah, that's absolutely crazy, and it's probably likely we'll have some cars that set exactly the same time. We're just looking at some of the gaps in between cars. Absolutely crazy, and you can see why when the V8 Supercars used to qualify here, they'd be doing times to 4 decimal places, because it's almost very difficult to separate the cars here. But yeah, we'll see if it's as close as it is in qualifying in the race.
Yeah, certainly. Well, what we've got is, let's have a look to see who's going to be starting a lap very shortly. Stephen Baxter is just starting a lap here, so if we can get on board with Stephen, we can talk you through a lap of this track. So you're heading down in towards turn 1 here. It's a pretty fast left-hander. You just want to give it a dab of brakes here. Use the curb on the left there, get it over to the right-hand side for turn 2. This very tight hairpin right-hander. You then go under the track there, that's part of the figure of 8, over to the left-hand side, get it onto the brakes for this tight right-hander here at turn 3. Turn 4 follows up. You want to keep it over to the left-hand side, and then there's different lines through this corner, so we're going to see different approaches through there. But through 4 and then 5, which is the kink just before the bridge, off of the bridge through turn 6. You want to avoid the curb on the right-hand side because it's got a nasty bump there. Into turn 7 now. It's a medium speed, it's about 80 miles an hour. Turn 8, this left-hander. And then another left-hander here. You want to try and keep the car stable because there's a few bumps. It goes over a rise mid-corner, then through 9 and so through 10 and 11, should I say. Really fast section. Get it over to the right-hand side for turn 12. You want to have a late apex, maybe not clip as much of the curb as he did there, and then run it right out to the wall on the right-hand side there. And that is a lap of the circuit, as I say, about 1 minute 7, although that one was a 1 minute 8.9, so not an improvement for Stephen, but he's certainly pushing here, and up in 5th place. In fact, he's pushing a little bit too hard there. He's lost control of the car. But up into 5th place, it's good to see Stephen, actually, as I was saying, so far up the starting order. And I suppose with a track, Adam, that people don't really know that well, compared to, say, like a Silverstone or a Donington Park, it's going to throw up these different names that we don't normally see, because it's whoever adapts to the track quickest, really.
Yeah, it's definitely a track that I'm sure many of the drivers have not raced at all, unless they were in a V8 Supercar League, of course. But yeah, we're going to possibly see some new names up there, drivers that might have adapted to the track quicker than the rest. And Stephen Baxter aptly using car number 888. Of course, Craig Lowndes, V8 Supercar driver, won here back in 2006, and he's doing well in the V8 Supercars at the moment. And Stephen Baxter carrying that number here in the race around Oran Park in Australia today.
Yep, certainly it is. And well, we're heading in towards the closing stages of qualifying here. Just about 2.5 minutes left here, so there's still plenty of time to put a couple of good laps in here. And with it being a short lap as well, you're not going to see the tyres drop off like you would on a longer lap in qualifying, so you'll be able to get a good sort of 2-3 fast laps out of the set of tyres. So you're getting lots of drivers just getting lap after lap around here, trying to get that perfect lap. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the racing goes here, because as you alluded to, Adam, there's not really that many overtaking opportunities around here. You're certainly really limited to, say, into that last corner, turn 12, and if you're brave, going into one of those really slow hairpins at the start of the lap.
Yeah, I think those are really the main overtaking spots we'll see on the circuit. You might have to try and set a driver up through these S's bends that Diogo Melro is negotiating at the moment, and then try and throw one up the inside going into that final corner. One thing I've been noticing also during these practice and qualifying sessions is that there's not much runoff, is there, for any of the corners, especially the fast ones as well. So we do have a first corner pile-up. There's not going to be much room for the drivers to try and negotiate the chaos that could be unfolding in front of them. So watch out for that in the 2 20-minute races we've got today.
Yeah, all about patience around here. You're going to have the thing is, what we've discovered through several seasons of this championship is a few of the drivers are not really the most patient of drivers, are they really, Adam? So it's going to be testing tonight, and we could see a few upset drivers at the end of the evening, because it's so easy to get caught up with somebody in front of you and just tap them round and ruin the race.
And also, there's Lewis Bibby, flies up to 3rd place on the grid. Not many of them know what pedal to use when a crash occurs in front of them. Most usually just go for the accelerator pedal and fly on in there. But yeah, we could see plenty of that tonight. We saw it in Interlagos a few weeks ago in the Club Series, and yeah, who knows? We don't really know what to expect here in the Club Series at Oran Park, so we could definitely see another big crash.
And Piers Pryor just gave an example of how tight that pit entry is as well, because he just went into the end of the pit wall. So if anybody does have to make it to the pits because of damage, then they're going to have to take it easy going into that pit lane. But we're into the final 20 seconds here, and Clinton Bell just jumping back up ahead of Lewis Bibby on the qualifying time, so he's up into third place. As at the moment, it is still Diogo Melro in pole position with Piers Pryor second, who's just come out the pit, so he's not going to get enough a lap done. Clinton Bell is currently on a lap at the moment. Lewis Bibby's just going to come across the line at the worst time, just comes across the line now, doesn't improve his time, so he's currently in fourth place. Pete Newman's currently on a lap here, it looks like, as well. He's in fifth with Stephen Baxter back in the pits in sixth, along with Matt Bunn seventh. Stuart McFadden, good eighth place for him in qualifying so far. Chris Wood, a man who I still say owes me a race win here, going through on a lap now, trying to make an improvement. Lewis Bibby's abandoned his latest attempt. We'll have a look. It's Chris Wood on a flyer. He's certainly giving it some over the curbs there through the S's in towards that final corner. It's so easy to clip the grass on the right hand side there, and he's not got the apex right, so he's not got a good run through the final corner there, but he'll come across the line. Will it be an improvement? No, it won't for him. Piers Pryor just coming round the last corner, but I don't think he's setting a lap time at the moment. Clinton Bell's just gone back to the pits. Andrew Whitehead's just completed a time. Anybody else coming through? The answer is no. So drivers being kind to you there, Adam. Why don't you take it away then with the starting grid? 34 cars on the grid.
Yes, with another 30 plus entry here in the club series. Diogo Melro on pole position again, trying to close that lead to Michael Hall in the championship, and he's done a brilliant job in qualifying. Fastest in practice and fastest in qualifying. Piers Pryor will start second on the front row of the grid. Clinton Bell in third. Lewis Bibby, brilliant from him, up in fourth place. However, he was quick in practice as well. Pete Newman in fifth place on the grid with Stephen Baxter, car 888 in sixth. Matt Bunn, the first of the CQR cars, in seventh with Stuart McFadden eighth. Chris Wood in ninth, and Michael Hall, championship leader, starting in 10th. Ben Hackerson in 11th, 12th Sharon Kaiser, Ian Roskell in 13th, Alex Everett in 14th place on the grid with Sam Reed in 15th, Andrew Whitehead in 16th, Sean Gardner 17th, 18th for Ben Gregory, 19th Rob Graham, and Tom Stanley runs out your top 20. Max Wright in 21st, Lauren Murray in 22nd place, 23rd Tristan Bodis, Craig Evans will start in 24th, Dan Blake 25th, Jim Flanagan in 26th, Scott Malcolm, fellow Scott alongside him in 27th, Stuart Atkinson 28th, Perry Warburton in 29th place, the first of the team dial-up cars, and then 30th Chris Sherburn, Neil Rocks 31st, Ben Warburton second of the two dial-up cars in 32nd place, 33rd Adam Hadfield, and 34th it is Alan Brown.
"34 cars in around this track. It's going to be intense. It's going to possibly be chaotic. We're hoping it's not. We're hoping for some nice clean racing. We're just waiting for the last few of the drivers then to come onto the grid here for this round 11 race here. And just waiting for two more drivers, and then we'll be all set here. 20-minute race, of course. Front tyres are going to be an issue round here with a track temperature of 97 degrees Fahrenheit. So that front tyre wear is really going to be an issue here. Just waiting for Max Wright to get onto the grid, and then we'll be all set for this first race of the evening. As I say, two races tonight, both 20 minutes in length. Drivers waiting patiently here, as are those in the commentary box, but the countdown is almost down. Got 5 seconds. Okay, so we're all set then. As I say, round 11 of the Club Series here on Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live. The red light will come on here, set for 20 minutes of action with the Kias. The green light is on, and away we go, and Piers Pryor gets an initial good start, but Diogo Melro makes a launch, and look at that coming through. Pete Newman with a fantastic start there. And Piers Pryor trying to go down the inside in towards turn one. It's a tricky corner on colder tyres, and Piers goes off. He's into the gravel, but he's carrying on. His power sliding round, and he's actually spun round. Oh, there's going to be contact, and we've got a few cars off there at the back. One of them's an Automec car, but the big news is Piers Pryor is off there. There's also, who was that? Sean Gardner as well had been involved in something as well. All the drivers still coming through here. It's all chaotic. Look at the bunches of cars together here. But out front at the moment, Diogo Melro ahead of Pete Newman, who made a lightning start there, Adam, from the getaway, and he's jumped up into second place now.
Yeah, brilliant start from him. And yeah, Piers Pryor was desperate to take the lead, wasn't he? He was trying to get up the inside of Diogo Melro going into the first corner. It wasn't going to work, and unfortunately, yeah, he turned the car around. Fortunately, he's got the car to get back to the pits, and then he can get a fresh car and be on his way and hope for a reverse grid spot. But over the line we go then. Diogo Melro already has a bit of a lead, over about 1.2 seconds to Pete Newman in second place, up 3 positions from the start. Great start from him.
Yeah, certainly good stuff from Pete. And well, going into turn 1 though, he's got Clinton Bell and Lewis Bibby putting pressure on him. Rob Graham is into the pit lane along with Piers Pryor, so they're getting a repair done to their car. But Pete Newman, one of the Club 73 teams, the Club 73 with Hive Hill motorcycles, and then Clinton Bell in the Club 73 karting Nitro Helmets car. They're behind them. And then Lewis Bibby in 4th place. Stephen Baxter, by the way, 5th place for him, so really good job from him at the start there. He's ahead of Michael Hall. Another man who was caught up in that incident at the start was Matt Bunn, so he's down in 10th place at the moment.
Pete Newman made a small mistake as well, just going through the second half of the lap. That's allowed Clinton Bell now through into second place. So good from him there. Pete Newman now under pressure from his teammate Lewis Bibby.
Yeah, they're really using every inch of the road as they're going out through that final corner, rubbing it right up to the wall, and it's what you have to do if you want to be fast around here to get that exit. And well, Jeroen Kaiser is putting pressure on Michael Hall, although running wide there, Piers Pryor getting out the way. He's just come out the pits, and yeah, he's dropped down. He's currently sitting in 32nd place. Last of the reverse grid spots though, so he's still in with a shout if he finishes the race to get a possible reverse grid there. But well, we've just got Pete Newman now putting the pressure back on Clinton Bell towards the front, but Diogo Melro is already close to 3 seconds ahead of Clinton Bell as they're going into the second half of the track here. And well, these guys are squabbling away and just letting Diogo just pull away here.
Yeah, Diogo Melro last time around 107.286. Pete Newman, Lewis Bibby lapping in the 1:08, and they could be lapping in that again if they get stuck behind Clinton Bell for too long here. This is allowing other drivers to get in the action as well. We've got Stephen Baxter now joining the back of those two. We've got Michael Hall, and we just see, oh, someone's got to slow down the X, or is that just Piers Pryor having to let the field through? I think it might just be, yeah, it is. So Piers Pryor in 32nd place, already getting lapped by these guys, and yeah, not the first race that he wanted after starting second on the grid. Matt Bunn's just got past Ben Hackerson. These two going side by side, going into turn 3, and Bunn is through. And now the car of Alex Everett, privateer, of course, is trying to get past Hackerson as well.
Yeah, Everett and Hackerson side by side going into 4 and 5, and looking to get the cutback there is Everett. A great job there to try and get down the inside. Will he hold it down the inside? A little bit of rubbing, a little bit of door banging. That's what we expect around here. And Hackerson is off in the grass. He's back on there, and he's dropped down another place. So down to 10th place for Hackerson here. Everett up to 9th as they go through that left-hander now, but he's through into the S's, and Hackerson now seems to be the man who's got the better run here going into that final corner, Adam.
Yeah, see if he can do anything down this front straight. We'll try and get the run through this final corner.
Newman
for second place.
Yeah, Newman's just getting past. He's down the inside. He's had the better run. Down the pit straight, then out of the final corner, in towards turn 1, that fast left-hander. And Newman it is, up into second place now, and Clinton Bell coming under pressure from Lewis Bibby.
Yeah, so Pete Newman's got that second place back that he had before he made that small error. A few laps going off is Stephen Baxter. He's going through the gravel on the exit of the turn 3 right-hand hairpin, and he's lost a few positions there. He's down to now 7th position.
And that was all of his own doing as well. He didn't get any contact, had to get out. In fact, he was getting out of the way of Lewis Bibby then. So he's now getting under pressure from the current leader in the championship, Matt Bunn, as they come into this right and then the left here at 7 and 8 in towards 9. And so Stephen Baxter coming under pressure here. Just looking down your order as well, just to see if there's any sort of battles going on as well. It's Jim Flanagan, Max Wright and Craig McLeod-Evans. They're all together. They're battling over 18th, 19th and 20th place. That's the Isle of Base, Automech and Team Madcar. And in fact, Craig McLeod-Evans cut across the grass there a little bit through the S's. And he's struggling. But further up the field here, there's a definite gap has formed between those three battling away for second place, and then Michael Hall is dragging Jeroen Kaiser along with him.
Yeah, seeing Michael Hall's doing anything to close in on these guys. Last time around he did a 108.8, which wasn't good at all considering the cars in front, Lewis Bibby and Clinton Bell, were doing 108.5s. So Michael Hall third in the championship. He might want to get a higher finish considering Diogo Melro, the guy's only 14 points behind him in the championship, is flying 4 seconds ahead at the front. So Hall in 5th place. You might want to push a little bit higher than that.
Well, what it's doing is helping his teammate Matt Bunn come onto the back there of Stephen Baxter. So Bunn is catching up a little bit of time here on the back of this little group. And we're getting these battle packs going on here. Hackerson closing right up to the back of Everett through the final corner. He'll try and get the better run, try and use a little bit of slipstream, and behind them as well you've got Ian Roskell, Ben Gregory, Andrew Whitehead and Tom Stanley battling away, and Hackerson looking to the inside of turn 1. It is a brave move if you can do it. He backs out of it though for the time being, goes instead into turn 2. Can't make that move stick though, and that's allowing now Roskell, Gregory, Whitehead and Stanley catch up to the back of them. This battle for 9th place, Everett, Hackerson and the rest of them.
Yeah, Hackerson had a little bit of a look up the inside into the second corner, and just a little bit of a nibble of the back of Alex Everett, but no way through there. But yeah, look at these cars that are in this train. We've got Ian Roskell, we've got Ben Gregory, we've got Andrew Whitehead and possibly Tom Stanley of those guys continue to squabble as well. And most of these guys have been working their way through the field as Ben Gregory tries to get past Ian Roskell. Alex Everett up 5 positions, Ben Hackerson up 1, Ian Roskell up 2 places since the start of the race, and Ben Gregory up 6 as well. So Gregory a man on the mission, and he wants to try and get past Ian Roskell. He's lining him up into the final corner.
Ben Warburton, by the way, had a little moment going through turn 1, lost control of the car, kept it going though, so he's down in 30th place. But look at this now, Hackerson and Everett actually have managed to pull away from Roskell there as they're heading down towards turn 1, and Gregory, he's tempted by that move into turn 1, which is, as I said, it's a very brave move if you can make that work. But nobody is. Roskell runs wide, and well, look at this Whitehead now. Andrew Whitehead coming up alongside Gregory, and Gregory's a little bit boxed in here, going into turn 3. But Gregory's got the inside line. Roskell once again running wide. It's all getting a bit tight, a little bit of rubbing, and Gregory and Whitehead make it past Roskell. Roskell, though, able to carry on down to 13th, Adam.
Yeah, Gregory nearly almost follows Roskell off into turn 1 then, and it looked like Andrew Whitehead was going to get both of them, but yeah, Roskell going wide again into the second hairpin, and it allows Whitehead and Gregory through. So Gregory now into 11th place, Andrew Whitehead into 12th, and Roskell back down to 13th.
Stephen Baxter's looking very racy at the moment with Jeroen Kaiser. Battle for 6th. Just seeing a little bit of a rub there, just reminding Jeroen where he is. And here comes Matt Bunn, who gets the better run out of that final corner. The championship leader, as at the moment they go across the line. Matt Bunn is on the inside. He's going to have to line in towards turn 1. Baxter's going to try and hold it up around the outside, and they're going to do it as well. But Bunn finally has the inside line for 2. And that puts him up to 7th place now. Baxter down to 8th. Not the best race for Baxter so far, but still good to see him in this top 10 of this race. But now Bunn, he's got his sights set for Jeroen Kaiser. Lewis Bibby is putting a little bit of pressure on Clinton Bell as well further forward. That's a battle for the final step of the podium. Yeah,
Pete Newman's escaped from those guys, and you can see that Clinton Bell is struggling just a little bit here. And he goes off just as I said that, and that might incur a slowdown penalty surely. And round the outside goes Bibby, and so too does Michael Hall. So that was easy for those two, and Clinton Bell now down to 5th place off the podium.
Yeah, so one little mistake around here and it could cost you positions, and it's cost him 2 positions. But look at that now. Jeroen Kaiser, Matt Bunn, Stephen Baxter have caught up to the back of this 3. So we've now got a 6-car train here, and it's interesting how just one little thing can change the order of, well, one, change the order of the race, but also two, really close up the guys behind. So yeah, really good racing here so far. We've also got Andrew Whited trying to put Ben Gregory under pressure here. He's got Tom Roskell and Tom Stanley behind, along with Tristan Bodis. Lauren Murray's trying to get onto the back of that group as well. So we've got big packs of cars all together, all battling away for position. But Lewis Bibby now is trying to get away in that third place from Michael Hall at the moment.
Yeah, he's trying to do what his teammate Pete Newman did and try and break away from the rest of this field. Michael Hall there, then the next car, then Clinton Bell. Jerome Kaiser will surely be coming under pressure from Matt Bunn in the not too distant future. You can almost sense it. Something going on, Paul?
Yeah, we've got side-by-side action. Max Wright and Jim Flanagan. Flanagan just getting into the back of Wright there. And well behind him, Adam Hadfield, who of course had a qualifying penalty, so he couldn't take part in qualifying. He's been working his way through the field. He's up to 21st now, as we've got change of position, and it's Matt Bunn now. He's battling away, trying to get past Jeroen Kaiser at that final corner. Michael Hall's up into fourth, as we said, with that little mistake, but Bunn not able to make that move stick on your own.
Oh, and is he going to go off? He nearly does Matt Bunn, and has to concede a place to Stephen Baxter. So Baxter now up into 7th place. Bunn might try and retaliate straight away up the inside. He's got the inside line, but Baxter looks like he might be able to hold it out around the outside, and he does. So Baxter now up into 7th place, Matt Bunn down into 8th place.
Yeah, and well, battle's still going on, still raging. And you look at how close the racing is here, and yet we've hardly mentioned him. Diogo Melro is out front, 5.7 seconds ahead in the lead. He's in first place. Pete Newman is in second place, and then 3 seconds behind Pete is Lewis Bibby. Michael Hall now in fourth, ahead of Clinton Bell, who's in fifth. And then we've got this battle pack here. Jeroen Kaiser 6th, Stephen Baxter 7th, Matt Bunn, championship leader, in 8th place, with Alex Everett in 9th, with Ben Hackerson in 10th place. We've got about 7 minutes remaining of this race. And well, anything could still happen in this one. In fact, Hackerson is trying his best, with Alex Everett looking one way then the other, but still can't make it past here, Adam.
Starting to see it here at Oran Park. Yeah, you're going to have to get your elbows out and try and get a move done, I think. Hackerson trying all that he can to get it done. But Matt Everett putting up a strong defence here. Of course, Alex Everett, privateer, doing well inside the top 10 in the championship. And yeah, Hackerson's having to make it tough work of this to try and get that 9th place.
Jim Flanagan's lost a couple of positions here too. Adam Hadfield and Stuart McFadden. So Flanagan dropping down the order there slightly in this race. And well, at the moment, it's this battle here with Jeroen Kaiser, Stephen Baxter and Matt Bunn that is pretty much the closest one. Although saying that, Ben Hackerson, he's so much quicker through the second half of the lap as Hackerson, but the problem is here, you can't get past here, and you've got to try and get the run out that final corner onto the start and finish straight, as Baxter and Bunn are... no, it's Baxter and Jeroen Kaiser going side by side to that 888 car. Baxter down the inside. Will he make it? No, he won't. He backs out of it. But
no.
Kaiser, he's out of control here. And there's big contact with Clinton Bell. That's 2 positions there lost. Well, two guys out the almost at the top 10 there. But you see if Clinton Bell has got any serious damage to the car. Ben Gregory's going through here, and it doesn't look too bad, so he might be able to run that one to the end. But Jeroen Kaiser, heavy damage on the front left-hand side of the car, and just that little mistake there into turn 2, and it's cost both of them drivers.
Well, I thought it was impressive the speed that Jeroen Kaiser managed to carry into that kink, and then I saw that he had no chance of stopping it. And poor Clinton Bell, yeah, just an innocent bystander in all of that and got hit. He's now down to 12th place after down 9 positions after starting in 3rd on the grid. So it's just gone horribly wrong, his first race now. Not a good race for him and his teammate Piers Pryor either.
Yeah, Piers is still the last of the runners. Clinton Bell looks to be a little bit struggling with that car. And here comes Ian Roskell now. So Clinton is just trying to limp that car to the end, because Roskell down the inside into turn 1. He's going to make it through, and in fact there's going to be a few more making it through as well. Clinton's getting out of the way. He just wants to make it to the end here. Still looking further forward as well. Ben Hackerson still cannot get past Alex Everett at the moment. He just, everything he tries, he just cannot seem to make it past here.
By margins here at this Oran Park circuit. We saw it in qualifying and we're seeing it again here in the race. Ben Hackerson taking that curve on the inside, a bit bumpy there. And now this is where all the times won or lost through these S's bends and the run towards the final corner. And there's another battle going on as well. I saw it in the background.
Dan Blake has just gone around the outside. there's contact with Chris Sherburn behind, but Dan Blake has made it around the outside of Perry Warburton through turn 3, which is, I've not seen that so far tonight, that's for sure. So innovative driving from Dan Blake, and then there was a little bit of contact behind from Sean Gardner and Chris Sherburn. Between those two, so managing to hold on to the possession was Chris Sherburn. Into the final 4 minutes of this race. This race has flown by here, and Alex Everett finally makes a mistake in towards turn 2, and this is Hackerson's opportunity, but he's on the outside into 3, but will he have the overlap here? Everett back down the inside, a little bit of bumping, and the front right of Hackerson's car now looks a little bit of a mess. Going down the inside into 4, onto the curb, a bit more of giving it back there from Hackerson, but Hackerson is going to have the inside through 6 here, a little bit more contact. Everett going off into the grass there, able to carry on, and he's now going to come under intense pressure from Ben Gregory, who has caught up to the back of Everett there, and Everett, I don't know whether he's got a little bit of steering damage there. Certainly didn't look good going through that first S's.
There's feisty contact between those two, and Pete Newman and Michael Hall are having a fantastic duel over 3rd and 4th place. Pete Newman went off in turn 1 on this lap, lost 2nd place to his teammate Lewis Bibby and lost 3rd place to Michael Hall. And now in the final 2.5 minutes of the race, Pete Newman wants to try and get a podium spot after being in 2nd place for so long.
Yeah, he'll be desperate for that one. He wants a good result here tonight. He certainly had the pace. It's right up on the back bumper of Michael Hall. Of course, we see these two drivers in the Pro Series on a Thursday night here on Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live. So these two really giving it a bit of a Pro Series feel in the final couple of minutes of this race. Diogo Melrose still in the lead now, 9.6 seconds ahead of Lewis Bibby. I can tell you that Chris Wood has gone into the pits, and so he's down into 32nd place. So Piers Pryor has made it up 1 position because of a bad night for Club 73 cars at the moment, Adam.
Yeah, not a good race for them at all. Clinton Bell now down to 18th place after that contact in the first corner. And yeah, Piers Pryor in 31st place. Thankfully for him, he is just inside the reverse grid places, and Chris Wood, his teammate, in 32nd as well. So if the reverse grid works in their favour, it could all still be good. They could have a front row of the grid lockout.
We've lost Ben Warburton. He's got disqualified from the race, so those instant points now really starting to rack up, and the gloves are off with this racing. They're really trying it. We're into the final minute and 10 seconds of the race. We're going to get another lap at the end of this one, and it's that battle. Michael Hall, Pete Newman, Stephen Baxter, Matt Bunn, all together as a foursome there through those right-handers up onto the bridge, and another right-hander off of the bridge in towards the second half of the lap, where it's really only one single line through here. Those guys staying as they are at the moment, but really, well, just looking back, you've now got Ben Gregory. He's putting the pressure on Alex Everett now. If Alex didn't have enough pressure from one Ben, he's now got it from another.
And yeah, he hasn't got enough. He hasn't got too long to do it. We've got just under half a minute left, and Diogo Mel has just started what will be the final lap of the race. Gregory giving Alex Everett a little bit of a nudge there, going through the final corner onto the front straight. I see side-by-side racing in front of them. Stephen Baxter possibly trying to get a position, but it doesn't look like that's changed. But Everett and Gregory into the first corner, final lap of the race. Is Gregory going to have a go? He's late on the brakes, so is Everett. The car's squirreling under braking there, and almost out of control is Andrew Whitehead. He closed up under braking there, but missed his braking point by just a bit.
Yeah, certainly see him, and well, Still close action. We've lost Tom Stanley out of all this as well, it appears. Yeah, go on, Adam.
Here comes Gregory up the inside. Oh, it's almost the same place where Hackerson nearly got it done, and he hit that curb, that very high curb. High curbs all over the place here at Oran Park, and wasn't able to get past.
But yeah, Driscoll coming into the final corner now. He's that far ahead, and it's going to be Diogo Melro with another victory here in the Club Series. He comes weaving across the line, to take the win there. And well, Lewis Bibby's going to be the man in second place. Who will finish third and fourth? Look at Stephen Baxter getting into the side of Pete Newman there in the last corner. It's going to be Michael Hall who finishes third. Who's fourth? That's the question to go across the line. And it's Baxter just ahead of Pete Newman. And well, looking further back, Alex Everett managed to keep it ahead of Ben Gregory as, well, just looking to see if there's any more battles. There is, actually. Perry Warburton's ahead of Chris Sherburn and Sean Gardner. Sean Gardner in the Kunstvoller Subaru for you car. Those guys are going into the final corner pretty much as they were at the start of the lap. So those guys will finish as they were then 25th, 26th and 27th. Rob Graham just coming through into the final corner. He's a lap down, I believe, is he? No, he isn't. He's the last lead lap driver then in 29th place coming across the line. Well, after all of that, Adam, it was only, 31 drivers who actually finished one lap down or more out of 34. So not bad attrition rate, especially around such a tight track.
Yeah, I was expecting a lot more than that, considering the tight confines and the limited runoff area around this circuit. But yeah, drivers behaved themselves in this opening race, and yeah, we had 28 cars finish on the lead lap of the race. Well, it's kicking off now after the checkered flag. Yeah, dominant showing by Diogo Melro. Not too often we see a driver win by 10 seconds in the Club Series. Yeah,
certainly. So as we get ready towards looking towards a reverse grid draw as well for the second race. Don't forget that that you'll have that reverse grid draw there. But Adam, why don't you take us through the final results then?
Yeah, so Diogo Melro takes the win. Lewis Bibby takes second place with Michael Hall in third, Stephen Baxter fourth, Pete Newman missing out on a podium, missing out on a second place after dropping down the order in the final laps of the race. Matt Bunn, championship leader, finishing in 6th with Ben Hackerson in 7th, Alex Everett in 8th, Ben Gregory in 9th, and Andrew Whitehead rounding out the top 10. 11th for Jerome Kaiser, 12th Ian Roskell, 13th for Tristan Bodis, Lorne Murray in 14th, 15th for Adam Hadfield, 16th Max Wright with Craig Evans in 17th, 18th for Jim Flanagan, 19th Stuart McFadden, and Clinton Bell rounding out the top 20. 21st for Stuart Atkinson, Scott Malcolm in 22nd, 23rd for Dan Blake, 24th Neil Rocks, 25th Perry Warburton, 26th Christopher Sherburn, Sean Gardner 27th, Rob Graham 28th, and then the cars one lap down or more. Tom Stanley 29th, Piers Pryor and Chris Wood in 30th and 31st place. They'll be hoping for a high reverse grid. 32nd, Ben Warburton 3 laps down, and 12 laps down Sam Reed, and Alan Brown 17 laps down. And I don't think he must have had issues on the opening lap of the race.
Yeah, must have done indeed. Well, we're looking at the reverse grid draw. There is only one driver who won't be eligible, Ben Warburton, because he did finish 3 laps down out the race. So it's going to be potentially 21 down to 31, with the 32 being a full reverse. So Adam, take us through the runners and riders for that.
Okay, so the cars that are eligible for the reverse grid, 21 down to 32, and this is who they are: Stuart Atkinson, Scott Malcolm, Dan Blake, Neil Rocks, Perry Warburton, Christopher Sherburn, Sean Gardner, Rob Graham, Tom Stanley, Piers Pryor, Chris Wood, and Ben Warburton. So we'll see who's on the pole position. Over to Samuli Kumo, who will be spinning the Wheel of Fortune, and we'll see whose is on the pole.
Yeah, let's see who it is indeed. The wheel will come to a stop, and Samuli will give us a message. 29! Oh, I tell you what, if you're Piers Pryor, you're not happy, but Tom Stanley, a man who had a little bit of a problem with his connection there in the first race, he's going to be on pole position for this one, so actually that's worked out nicely for Tom there, so Tom Stanley in pole position. Rob Graham's going to be in second place. Rob Graham, a man who got caught up in that first opening lap instance, he'll be happy with the chance of being on the front row, with Sean Gardner and Chris Sherburn third and fourth, Perry Warburton fifth, and Neil Rocks rounding out the top 6 of the grid. So certainly going to be an interesting one, a big number that as well for the reverse grid. So hopefully there won't be too much problems there. But what we'll do is we'll take a quick step aside while we get the second race up and running. Make sure you stay tuned for that second race. It should be a good one here in Season 5 of the Club Series on Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Truex in the outside, contact made, 56 slides it into 4, who's gonna be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
Welcome back to Season 5 of the Club Series here on Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live. Paul Smith and Adam Bath with Samuli Kumo here for you this evening. And well, after an intriguing first race, very intense race in that first race, we've got the reverse grid second race here, and 29 cars have been reversed here. And Adam, we saw just how tough it was making those overtaking manoeuvres, and even a couple of drivers been commenting about how tough the overtaking was here. We could see a new driver or a different driver getting a race win here today.
Yeah, I think we're probably gonna have to say this is the toughest circuit of the entire calendar for when it comes to overtaking. And we could see a driver that we don't usually see at the top coming to take home the second race of the evening. And we saw some of that on occasions last season. I think Summit Point sprung to mind. We got Andrew Whitehead, of course, very experienced Kia driver, I must say, taking victory there in quite a few race twos at the start of the season. We could be seeing something similar happen in the second race in a few minutes.
So we're going to have a 35-car grid because one driver couldn't make it for the start of the first race, so he's back in. That's James Leggett, so he's going to be starting near the back of the grid here for this one. And championship wise, the protagonist Piers Pryor is in he must be so gutted to have just missed out on that reverse grid by one place. I know exactly how that feels, by the way, to miss out on a reverse grid draw by one place.
Plenty of times, Paul. We have it so many times, don't we? I'm always rooting for you though whenever there's a reverse grid. Unfortunately, we don't have a Paul Smith button because you don't drive for Apex. So, 29 reverse for this second race of the day. And yeah, for Club 73, that was a nightmare scenario for them because they had two of their drivers outside that number in Chris Wood and Piers Pryor. And unfortunately, they're now going to be starting in 30th and 31st places on the grid.
And of course, Tom Stanley, who we said had those technical problems in that first race on the very last lap, it's all come around here for him. He's on pole position, and sometimes you need that little bit of luck. And today, that luck has gone his way for the second race. But it is a 20-minute race, and a lot can happen. And as Murray Walker used to say, it usually does.
And you've got to get that first corner right. It's very, very tough. And yeah, if you hit the bumps, we've seen plenty of experienced Kia drivers do it so far today. We saw Pete Newman mess up there, and we saw other drivers as well take out Clinton Bell. So much has happened since that incident occurred. I can't remember who it was that did it, but better watch out. And we're heading down to the grid now, so we'll run you through the starting grid. We've got just under a minute. So Tom Stanley is on the pole, Rob Graham second, Sean Gardner in third, Chris Evans in fourth, Ferry Warburton in 5th, Neil Rocks in 6th, Jan Blake in 7th, 8th Scott Malcolm, 9th Stuart Atkinson, and 10th Clinton Bell. 11th Stuart McFadden, Jim Flanagan in 12th, Craig Evans in 13th, Max Wright 14th, 15th Adam Hadfield, 16th Lord Murray, 17th Tristan Boddice, 18th Ian Rosscore, 19th Andrew Whitehead, and 20th Ben Gregory. 21st Ben Hackerson, 22nd Matt Bunn, Championship leader, 23rd Pete Newman, 24th Stephen Baxter, 25th Michael Hall, Lewis Bibby 26th, Diogo Melro, race 1 winner in 27th, 28th is Piers Pryor, 29th Chris Wood, and 30th Ben Warburton, Alex Everett 31st, 32nd Sam Reed, 33rd Adam Brown, James Leggett in 34th, and at the back of the grid in 35th it'll be Jerome Kaiser.
So here we go then, the revs rising, round 12 of the Club Series, the green light goes on, and away we go from the start. It's going to be a good start from Rob Graham in second place. It's going to come up alongside Tom Stanley as they're heading towards turn 1. We've seen how difficult it is going through there in that first race, but Tom Stanley will just sneak out in front ahead then. And will everyone make it through? We've got cars in the gravel, and we've got cars going off left, right and centre. Ben Gregory is upside down there in the gravel. Everybody else has actually cleared the track and is still able to go. So, Adam, take it away.
Oh, sorry, I just saw something quite amusing. A driver just go into... There's a tyre barrier sticking out, going under the bridge, and someone just unfortunately hit it and has sustained terminal damage. I couldn't see who it was, but Tom Stanley coming under pressure from Rob Graham.
Yeah, so Rob Graham, this is an opportunity for the Automech driver to try and get a place here and try and get a win. And yeah, certainly trying to put that pressure on Tom Stanley, but Tom Stanley, we have seen in previous races, is a quick driver, so he's got a chance, and a different livery for Tom as well this week. He's taking part in the Movember charity, so he's trying to raise some money. And well, it's across the line they go then. Tom Stanley, Rob Graham, Sean Gardner in third, with Chris Sherburn fourth, Neil Rocks fifth, with Perry Warburton sixth, Clinton Bell seventh, Adam Hadfield eighth, Scott Malcolm ninth, and Tristan Bodis in 10th place.
3 drivers in the pits, and they were all high finishers, now make that 4. Stephen Baxter, Pete Newman, Ben Gregory and Stuart McFadden now coming into the pit lane at the end of the first lap.
As we go through turn 4 and turn 5. Look at the bounce on that car from Tom Stanley there. That just tells you that the bumps that are in this track here. It's a really tricky track to get right, but Stanley still got Rob Graham behind. These front 4 have just made a little bit of a gap, so Stanley, Graham, Gardner and Sherburn are all just pulled out a little bit of gap there on Neil Rocks. Neil Rocks under pressure from Perry Warburton in that team dial-up car, with Clinton Bell in 7th place. So Clinton trying to make the most of this. He was one of the faster drivers in qualifying earlier on, until he had that incident with Jeroen Kaiser in race 1. But here we go across the line. Just look at the battling further back. Piers Pryor is battling away with Lord Murray coming out that final corner, but he can't get the job done. And here comes Diogo Melro now trying to make moves on Piers Pryor.
One of the boosted cars just behind that battle, I think, had a little trip to the wall on the exit of the final corner. They're carrying on.
Oh, there's a boosted car sideways going into turn 2, and it's taking a car out. Oh, is that Michael Hall that was involved in that one? It is.
Michael Hall, third in the championship going into this race meeting, and he is now in 25th place. So not good there for the CQR driver. I was about to comment on how Matt Bunn was working through the field, but yeah, trouble for Michael Hall.
Yeah, so championship protagonist Michael Hall struggling here. Matthew Bunn, as you say, working his way through the field up to 13th place now, ahead of Craig McLeod Evans, is trying to make the cut back but doesn't make that work. And well, at the front, Tom Stanley's just pulling out about a second on Rob Graham, so he's doing his best to pull away. And Sean Gardner is sticking with Rob Graham in that Kunstvoller Subaru View car.
Clinton Bell and Perry Warburton were battling there going down the front straight. There was a bit of contact made between those two, and Perry Warburton has now lost that position. Oh, as off goes Hadfield into the gravel, and he comes back on and hits Warburton. Oh dear, and they can't both carry on without taking too much damage and too much time lost.
How on earth do you manage to hit the side of that car when you've gone off on the outside there? I don't know, but anyway, he's managed it as Adam Hadfield. That's a new one. He's heavily damaged his car as well as Adam. He's got damage on both sides of the front end of that car. He's going to come under pressure from Tristan Bodis behind now. And Andrew Whitehead is the latest one who's in the pits. So too is 77 Stuart Atkinson as well. Sean Gardner now putting the pressure on Rob Graham in that second place battle. And looking further down as well, Dan Blake coming under intense pressure from Matthew Bunn. So Bunn trying his best now to try and make his way through, as Ben Hackerson is also making moves on Scott Malcolm ahead of them.
Oh no! Into the wall goes Rocks! And so does Clinton Bell. They both got stuck together, and they both went into the wall in the final corner, and now they've got to sit and watch the whole field go by.
Oh, that is the worst feeling, especially if he's going to take a tow as Clinton. So he's taking a tow back to the ground. I tell you what, this has not been Clinton Bell's night, has it, at all? The Club 73 driver really has not done well, and Neil Rock's able to carry on then.
Off is Lewis Bibby, and off is also number 21. Who was that?
No, 121.
121, that's Piers Pryor. Piers Pryor again, just as we saw one Club 73 car having major issues, we've seen another one.
And what makes it worse is it's the sister team, Club 73 Highville Motorcycles, making contact. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting discussion there between teammates there as we go through. Tristan Bodis, by the way, putting the pressure on Perry Warburton now. This is a battle for 6th and 7th as they're going through in towards the S's at the end of the lap, through 10 and 11. And these two, they're pretty much together as they are. But Tom Stanley, he's not pulling away. In fact, last lap, Rob Graham's caught up half a second. Well, he's caught up a tenth on that last one. He's caught up half a second in these last couple of laps here as Rob. So Tom Stanley's not getting away with this one.
No, he isn't, and we'll see what the lap times are like when they came across the line. 1:08.3 for Stanley, 1:08.2. Again, gradually closer is Rob Graham. Diogo Melro also on the move. He's just got past Alex Everett. Matt Bunn about to try and pick off another car. That is Dan Blake. I'll tell you what, it's like the waves of the Red Sea parting here for Matt Bunn. He's already up 12 positions, could be 13 by the end of this lap.
He's got quite a bit of damage on the front end of his car, so I think that's showing maybe how he's made a couple of those overtaking manoeuvres. Oh, as he gets into the back of Dan Blake, as I say that. So Matt trying his best to make it through. And in fact, Diogo Melro behind him, race 1 winner. So Diogo's really been making moves as well in this race. He's putting him under pressure now, so Bunn is starting to look in his mirrors a little bit here.
2 championship contenders then, and of course Matt Bunn knows how good of a race 1 it was for Diogo Melro taking the win.
Contact.
Oh, it's a big one.
Oh,
Hackerson's on his roof. He's up back across the track. Watch out, guys. Whoa. Oh, no. Bang. And who was that? That was Lorne Murray. And we'll see what happened to Ben Hackerson. I don't know whether we caught it live or not.
Ben Hackerson also got caught by Michael Hall as well. I'll tell you what, he's gone pretty much a full corner there, though, but just flipping. So, yeah. Let's have a look what happened there then. So Hackerson was trying to go around the outside of the S's. That was brave. And, well, a little bit too brave because he got quarter-panelled by Warburton.
Perry
and
Warburton,
in fact, Perry Warburton's out of the race here as well.
Well, side by side through the S's, and it's not going to work, is it? And unfortunately for Ben Hackerson, it was a big one. And Perry Warburton, how does he end up having to take a trip back to the pit? So it wasn't too much substantial contact for him. Yeah, and then Lorne Murray giving Ben Hackerson a helping hand on his way towards the final corner and almost certain retirement.
Well, what this has done is really just put Matt Bunn under serious pressure from Diogo Melro. They're up to 7th and 8th now. So the chaos that's been going on in this race so far has really given these two some good positions. And now Bunn doesn't have anyone in front of him. There's a 5-second gap between him and Tristan Bodice. So Bunn is going to have to do a whole lot of defending from Diogo now if he wants to try. Oh, what else now has happened?
Sherburne's off into the wall, bang. So that's 4th place gone.
Dan Blake and Lewis Bibby as well. That was into the S's.
Well, Dan Blake had already lost a ton of positions because due to something on the previous lap, and that's just made things a whole lot worse.
Well, they're dropping like that first race. We only had 3 cars.
3 cars retired, yeah.
You know, this race they've just got a whole heap of cars back in the pits or out the race. I can tell you at the front here, there's still 11 minutes of this race, guys. Come on. Tom Stanley in the lead by half a second ahead of Rob Graham. Rob Graham's doing a fantastic job here, keeping with that Tier 1 driver of Tom Stanley as they head into the last corner. Rob Graham's lost control of it though, as I give him a heap praise on him, and he puts a wheel on the grass, and this is going to give Sean Gardner in that Kunstweiler Subaru for you car all the opportunity now to look down the inside towards turn 1, and Tom Stanley needs to take this opportunity to pull away. Gardner in through turn 1 side by side. And he's going to be off. They're both off here. And, well, they're back onto the track. Gardner may have a slowdown penalty there, but Rob Graham back up into 2nd place now, and Adam Hadfield, through all of this, is slowly gaining on them. And, well, look at the state of Hadfield's car from earlier on in this race as well. It's just absolutely crazy racing here for the second one, Adam.
Well, what is it that Andrew Woodhouse would say? He'd say, let's get in the carpool. We could score some points here. Because, yeah, they're dropping like flies. Cars that started inside the top 10 that are currently running there, I've got it as 4, I think. Sherburne and our top 3 at the moment. And I thought we were going to have that reduced even further with the antics of Gardner and Graham on this lap. Absolutely crazy. We've got just under half the race to go still. And
I could tell you amazingly, there are 2 drivers who've got no incidents in this race as well, Tristan Bodice and Skulkin. So they've managed to keep their noses clean in this one. But yeah, we're going through here. Half the race still to go in this one. And Matt Bunn now has caught up to the back of Chris Sherburne here through all of this. So now Bunn, who's under pressure for Diogo Melro behind, who's got a very clean car, by the way, compared to Bunn. compare the two cars, and you can tell that Melrose really been looking after that car, whereas Bunn's been using and abusing it. And as they're heading towards turn 1, Sherburn coming under intense pressure now from the two championship leaders as they go into turn 2 now. And Sherburn, he's going to have the overlap here as Bunn, but he's on the outside for 3, and this could open the door for Diogo Melro if he wants a Bunn trying to take the Dan Blake run around the outside. It's still not quite working the side-by-side into 4 and 5. And Bunn, still, it's side-by-side here. Sherburn is still desperately trying to hold on to that position as they head into 6, and Bunn just gets ahead. Melro tries to follow Bunn through here, and Sherburn going to have that inside line, and it'll disturb Melro, but Melro now has the inside line and he makes it through, and Sherburn slots in ahead of Alex Everett.
These two are just flying through the field, aren't they? That's 16 positions gained for Matt Bunn since the start, and make that 20 for Diogo Melro. Absolutely flying. Alex Everett now trying to get past Christopher Sherburn going into the final corner, no way through, and we've got a Club 73 car, almost the last one standing at the moment. Sam Reed in 10th place.
It's almost like a Royal Rumble, you just keep on getting knocked out the race here. But yeah, Sam Reed, the one Club 73 car that didn't finish in the first race, he is in 10th place. But Jeroen Kaiser and Craig McLeod Evans going into turn 2 here. And Evans loses the position. Michael Hall, he's trying desperately to salvage something out of this one. He's going to look possibly to the outside, is he? No, he's going to have to stay behind because he's got Jim Flanagan behind him. And we all know the feisty Scott will certainly give as good as he gets as he makes contact there.
Right on cue, over the top of the hill, onto the second half of the lap, and yeah, great battle unfolding here. Craig Evans, of course, his teammate Lorne Murray involved in that huge incident with Ben Hackerson earlier on in the race, and Michael Hall third in the championship, outside the top 15. We're trying to get back in there, and he's gained 9 positions though throughout the race, Michael Hall. So it's still been a relatively good race for him considering he started further down the order, but I'm sure he doesn't want to be in 16th place for long.
Neil Rocks, who we saw have that incident with Clinton Bell earlier on, he's in 21st place. Behind Chris Wood, the battling Chris Wood and Ben Warburton. And Chris it's basically not been a Club 73 day, that's for sure, here this week at Oran Park. But as we're heading in towards the almost at the final quarter of this race, up at the front it's still Sherburn, it's still Gardner and Graham who are battling away. But look at this battle now, Alex Everett and Chris Sherburn. And Sam Reed is trying to get involved here, and Everett trying to take that Matt Bunn line now around the outside of 4 and 5 into 6. Sherburn though, really trying to hold on to these positions here. He can sniff a good score here for his Tier 2 championship, but well, through goes Everett, and Sam Reed had to get out of it there a little bit. He drops back in behind Sherburn then, so that's 8th for Everett and 9th for Sherburn.
Yeah, an almost identical move to what Diogo Melro did on Christopher Sherburn on the previous lap. So you've seen that done to him before, and the independent driver has just done it again to him. Starting lap 13 of the race, these guys, just under 6 minutes to go. And look at the battle going on behind us as car 76, that is Jeroen Kaiser, scraping the wall on the exit. You could see the sparks flying there. And these guys all embroiled in a battle for what is 11th on back. Oh,
and looking further back, Michael Hall trying, and Jim Flanagan actually has got ahead of Michael Hall there. So Hall's dropped down a position, and I'm wondering if that damage that he's got on the front of the car is affecting him, because he is struggling here a little bit to keep up with those guys. So I think maybe just trying to get some points here in the end for Michael Hall, who's in 17th now.
Might also be limping around with incidents. I know you've got access to that, Paul. Incident limit of 12 in the club series.
He's on 9 at the moment. I'll tell you who should be worried. Ben Warburton and Stuart Atkinson, they're on 11 at the moment, so they're on the bubble. And just to say that, Ben Warburton hits it, 12. So right on cue as Jeroen Kaiser trying to go down the inside of Roskell. It's not really a traditional overtaking spot there. And well, we've seen what happens through the S's if you're trying to go side by side. But Kaiser decides to just slot back in again, and look at this, Melro and Bunn as they head down towards turn 1. Melrose got the run here, and this is important for the championship. In towards turn 1, Bunn holding it out round the outside, late on the brakes. There's going side by side still between the two of them, and this is showing why they are up at the front of the championship with the racing that they're doing here.
This is brilliant to watch. Top 2 in the championship going at it, and Melrose going to try and go around the outside. I don't think it's going to work. They'll try and go through this corner side by side, but it won't work. And now Melrose going to try and shape him up for the second half of the lap. Hall holding on here in what is 6th place. Position changes going on further down the field, though. A lot going on outside the top 10.
Yeah, Roskell's dropping down positions. Joran Kaiser's made it past Max Wright as well. So Roskell really has lost a ton of positions there. And Craig McLeod-Evans we've lost now. So he's the latest one we've lost in this race. So it's going to be survival of the fittest here towards the end. But Diogo Melro, look at this now. He's just trying to... Stuart Atkinson as well, we've just seen as well, has gone out the race. So... look at this, Melro trying his best to get past Bunn. He ducks out to the left there, trying to upset Bunn's rhythm, trying to make him make a mistake. And he's just not doing it at the moment as they go through there, through turn 2 in towards 3. There's a lot of dirt and dust on the track now that's accumulated through all these incidents. But if there's one thing, Jim Flanagan and Michael Hall
both disqualified.
So they must have come together, surely.
We'll see if we can get a replay.
Chris Sherburn is going to lose a position here, possibly to Sam Reed. Sam Reed, though, runs it a little bit wide, and Sherburn managing to hold on to the position there for the time being. Matthew Bunn and Diogo Melrose side by side, and Melrose should have the inside line for this next left-hander in towards turn 9, and he's got the position finally.
So Melrose now through, and what happened between Flanagan and Hall was Flanagan checked up on the brakes and Hall went into the back of them, and I think that just got 4 X's for them both, and that ended their race. So 1 CQR car down, and that's going to elevate Piers Pryor and Chris Wood up a few positions.
Joran Kaiser's getting a bit feisty here. He can sniff a good score here. He just made a move on Scott Malcolm into that last corner that allowed Max Wright to follow Joran through. So the 2 Automet cars swapping positions as well. And, well, out the front, we've got 2 minutes left in this one. Tom Stanley, I think he's got the cleanest car on the field here. He's coming through turn 6 at the moment, 1.2 seconds ahead of Rob Graham, who, to be fair to him, has also got a very straight car there. I keep on saying Stuart Atkinson. Sean Gardner in 3rd place for Kunstvoller Subaru for you is in that 3rd place. Is coming under pressure now from Adam Hadfield in this one. Tristan Bodis is in 5th place, and he's pretty much on his own there in 5th place as well.
Sam Reed is another car to get past Sherburn. Kaiser fancies the opportunity as well. He's looking up the inside. Contact made. More contacts, and it's over for both of them.
Oh, around the go. Well, they're actually still in the race, which is a novelty really for us. Girona gives him a little tap there as they try and recover. They're down to what, 14th and 15th place here. Sean Gardner has made it into second place. What's happened to Rob Graham here? He must have made a mistake into turn 1 and 2 because Hadfield's up into 3rd.
On the outside goes Hadfield, so that's another position. Now here comes Andrew Whitehead. He is a lap behind, so we don't need to worry about him. He's in 19th place. Yep,
Rob Graham ran wide, put a wheel in the dirt, and that was all it took. And Hadfield and Sean Gardner didn't need to be asked twice here, as we're heading in towards the final 30 odd seconds of this race. So we're going to get one more lap in this one, and still really close battling. Adam Hadfield now putting the pressure on Sean Gardner. Whoa, will he make the move? There's a little bit of a bang, a little bit of a knock, and through he goes into 2nd place. That was a brave move there from Adam Hadfield.
Yeah, out of nowhere, and it was an overtaking spot that we were talking about at the beginning of the broadcast. Hadn't seen it being used too many times. Is Sean Gardner going to try and retaliate straight away? Oh, he's out of control! And Graham nearly runs into the back of him as well.
Oh.
And what happened there?
Yeah,
did he get on the curb?
Contact.
Oh, they did.
They did make contact there, and Rob Graham, well, he's behind Andrew Whitehead, but it's not for position, as you said earlier. And still, it is a survival of the fittest job here. Matt Bunn is still behind Diogo Melro. He can't make a move, so I believe that Melro will be able to hold on to that position. But it's this battle for 2nd place that's still ongoing here as Whitehead gets out of the way. And, well, look at this. Sean Gardner trying everything he can to get 3rd. as we're heading towards the closing corners of this race, and I think Hadfield's going to hold on to that second place as, Tom Stanley is coming through that final corner, and it's going to be a race 2 victory here for Tom Stanley in his special livery for this week. Across the line he goes to take the win. Sean Gardner just not able to make a move on Adam Hadfield at the end there. Matt Bunn dropped back quite a bit on Diogo Miller on that final lap, but to be honest, he didn't need to push it really in the end there. Piers Pryor, he's half a second behind Scott Malcolm, but he's not going to make that move. In fact, he grazed the wall there at the end. Neil Rocks is putting the pressure on your own Kaiser here. So Kaiser struggling with the damage from that incident a little earlier on with Chris Sherburn. As they head into the final corner, Will Rocks, who of course was involved in an incident earlier on in this race, will he be able to get a better run? No, he won't. And, that's going to finish as it was there. It was...
And that's it. I think
that's pretty much it, yeah.
We've got Christopher Sherburn and Alan Brown. They are just coming through the final corner now. And Brown comes across the line. Where's
2
Sherburn?
laps down, though, I believe, is Alan Brown. Sherburn...
Yeah, and Sherburn also 2 laps down. They're coming across the line now.
1 lap down. No, 1 lap down, yeah.
And that's it. After that, we've got a good over 10. We've got about 13 cars all stuck in the pits.
That is absolutely craziness in that second race there. As I say, more of a battle royal than anything else, and 21 cars finishing that race. But of those 21 cars that finished the race, 3 of those had to take visits to the pits as well. So in fact, no, 5 of them had to take journey to the pits. So it's been an intense evening. But Adam, why don't you take us through that finishing order then?
Okay then, so it's a welcome win for Tom Stanley. Second place, Adam Hadfield. Third for Sean Gardner. Rob Graham in 4th in the end, with Tristan Bodice in 5th. 6th for Diogo Melrose. 7th Matt Bunn. 8th Alex Everett. 9th Sam Reed. And 10th Max Wright. Cars that started inside the top 10 that finished there, we had 3. 11th for Scott Malcolm, 12th Piers Pryor, starting in 28th place. We'll talk more about these amazing achievements of fights through the field in a moment. 14th for 13th Ian Roskell, 14th for Chris Wood, 15th after starting stone dead last after a back of the grid penalty, Jerome Kaiser. 16th for Neil Rock, started 6th. 17th Lord Murray, the last car on the lead lap. Then after that it's Andrew Whitehead. 1 lap down, we saw him mixing it with the guys at the front. 19th Stephen Baxter, Chris Sherburn, and also a lap down after starting in 4th on the grid. Alan Brown 2 laps down. And then we've got the cars that are all in the pits. We've got Jim Flanagan, Michael Hall, Craig Evans, Stuart Atkinson, Ben Warburton, James Leggett, Dan Blake, Lewis Bibby, Perry Warburton, who was involved in the crash of Ben Hackerson, Clinton Bell, that got turned around in the final corner and hit the wall, Stuart McFadden and Ben Gregory, and in 35th place we had Pete Newman. Some of the big movers. Adam Hadfield 2nd place up 13 positions, Tristan Bodice up 12, Diogo Melro finished in 6th up 21 places on the grid, Matt Bunn 15, Alex Everett 23, same for Sam Reed. How many did Kaiser get? 20 for him as well. Some big beneficiaries of all the carnage that we saw in the second race.
Yeah, and I will say, I do believe, and we might have to check it with him in a moment when we get to speak to him, I do believe that's Tom Stanley's first win as well. So what an achievement to A, survive, and B, get a first win on such a difficult track. But I'll tell you what, I do not envy the stewards this week, that's for sure.
Tell you what, you would have almost fought at turn 1 during that second race. There was actually oil down there. There were so many cars going off in that first corner, but yeah, the stewards will have a lot of stuff to work out and a lot of content for us to put on the Apex Facebook page. I can tell you that this week.
Well, what we'll do then is, Adam, why don't you take it away then? Race 2 winner, Mr. Tom Stanley.
Well, Tom Stanley, well done, and we believe it's your first win in the club series.
It is. It's a great feeling to get the win, especially with Adam fighting back to get 2nd place. So it's a nice 1-2 for Radical. It's oh my god. I think it was just pure luck that in the first race my internet disconnected with half a lap to go. So I got thanks to my useless broadband provider.
That you got reversed onto pole position. Yeah, well, everyone else seemed to be falling by the wayside. during the race. You just managed to keep your own at the front. How was it? What was it like racing around Oran Park?
To be quite honest, I had no idea where I was going a few hours ago because I've never owned a track, never turned a lap. So to be able to get the result in this race like I did was just amazing.
Well, just looking at the championship standings in the club series, you are currently quite away. Are you in the tier 2 standings? Or
No,
are you
it's tier
in the
1.
Tier 1, yeah.
They're currently getting updated. I think that's the problem with it.
Yeah, you might stand a chance actually of going up into the top 10 in the standings here after this win. That will give you some confidence going forward.
Yeah, my aim is to get the top 10. I have missed a few races, so my 2 low scores do count normally. But again, it is what it is. I'm now just here to have fun and just see where I can get to. Again, I'm on a high now after this win. Again, great work to Adam for P2.
Well, next week we head to Virginia International Raceway, another track surrounded by grass and unforgiving walls. Have you raced around there before?
Nope, just bought it today.
Well, before we let you go, do you want to send a quick shout out to anyone?
Again, thank you for Adam for being a great teammate, trying to help me for qualifying and just keeping me calm throughout race 2. Thanks to Radical Racing with SD Truck Interiors, Help for Heroes, and also my sponsor for the month of November. If you do want to donate to the cause, if you go to mobro.co/TomStanley961, you can give a donation there, but that is up to you if you do want to.
Well, Tom Stanley's joined an illustrious group, including yours truly, in taking victories in the club series. Well done on that, and we'll see you at Virginia next week.
No worries. Thank you, guys. Take care.
Yeah, Tom Stanley then for joining us in the commentary booth. It doesn't look like anybody else is joining us, and to be honest,
I can see why.
I can see why with some of the racing that was going on there. Yeah, that second race, it was that was what I expected in the first race. To be honest, if I'm being honest with you, Adam, there it was a little bit rough and ready was the racing then, but. Yeah, the first race showed that you can have clean racing around here if drivers apply themselves and put it to it. And yeah, we only had 3 drivers didn't finish that first race, and then that one it was a case of who did finish.
I think it's a few contributing factors. I think in the second race we have, of course, the reverse grid, which meant the faster guys were starting further back, and also we're in the second half of the championship now, and those guys that are starting towards the back of the grid, they want to get as far forward as they can because they know that a championship's starting to become more and more important. And with races such as Virginia next week, we've got Spa in 2 weeks, including a night race for the first time in the club series at Spa. Going up to,
yeah, that's going to be interesting considering how dark that circuit is.
These Kia headlights.
Well, it's basically the Kia headlights are effectively like a little candle in a jar. That's basically what they have on here. So that's going to be interesting viewing, that's for sure. But spectacular if nothing else. But yeah, just looking at the rest of the circuit. Imola, though, you always get really good racing at Imola. And then Donington National, of course, the final round as well. So the races are running out, aren't they, Adam, for the championship protagonists?
Yeah, they are. And before you know it, we'll be at Donington Park, the familiar final race of the season. And we'll be crowning a champion. As we also, so not too many race meetings to go when you look at it, Paul. 4 weeks, Virginia, Spa, Imola and Donington. So if you get one race meeting wrong, you haven't got too many left to try and correct it.
Yeah, certainly. Of course, there is the drop week that you can have in the scores here. So, and all of that padding that we've done, managed to let them get the scores updated here. So we'll have a quick look at the top 3 of each category, and well, it is Melrose, unsurprisingly, who has taken the lead of this championship then, 826 points ahead of Matthew Bunn on 802, Michael Hall now on 753, and really, it's between those 3, and when you've got 2 teammates like that battling away for a championship, it's very difficult for either of them to actually win. We saw that with in Formula 1 with McLaren back in 2007. Two drivers who could have won the title, and neither of them did.
Especially since they were squabbling around each other. That was a crazy season, wasn't it? And then Kimi Raikkonen just coming out of nowhere, taking the title there. Considering we've got a good 8 races to go, you can't rule out Piers Pryor, Ben Gregory and Alex Everett. They are down to 6th position, 199 points behind us, Alex Everett. But today, Piers Pryor suffering greatly. He got 12th place in the end in that second race, but he's now 173 points behind, and Ben Gregory is only 4 points behind him.
And then looking at the Tier 2 drivers, Scott Malcolm is on 547, ahead of Tristan Bodis now, moves up to 2nd place on 511, and Max Wright in 3rd on 480 points. So 67 points between those. Andrew Woodhouse, who of course didn't race today, is 90 points off of the lead. So yes, less than 100 points between the top 4 there, and all the way down to 7th is less than 130 points. So pretty close as the Tier 2 championship.
Yeah, it's going all the way to the end, I think, and the Tier 2 has been providing plenty of excitement all season, and they've had some strong results in this second race, of course, with everyone dropping out, with Sean Garner. Sean Garner, yeah, taking a 3rd position in this race. That's leapt him up 5 spots in the Tier 2 standings, the Kunstweiler driver, so he's done pretty well there, and he's only 117 points off the top. He can try and carry that form into the next race meeting at Virginia.
And just finally, quickly, the team standings. CQR are 192 points ahead of Team Mad, with Automech in 3rd, which is a really good showing for Automech. They're just ahead of Club 73 with Nitro helmets by 22 points there. So that is the standings as they are. And as we say, Adam, next week it is the Virginia International Raceway, the full course there. It's a really long lap, but some really good drafting opportunities around there as well.
Yeah, and some pretty demanding corners as well. We've got the first few corners where it's very easy to slide off. The grass is very slippery at this Virginia International Raceway, so if a driver gets it wrong, they're going to find it tough to get back onto the circuit. Then the opening sector after that is very fast and flowing, easy to make a mistake there. And yeah, we've got the run into the Oak Tree Bend and onto the superly long back straight, where we see plenty of overtaking done, and quite a few crashes in the past where drivers have tried to go free wide and filter back into single file going into that tight and twisty final sector of the lap. It's going to be good.
It's going to be good. So that's next week. Don't forget, that's 8:30 on Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live for us here. And of course, on Thursday night, it's the penultimate week of the BSR TC Pro Series. We're getting ever so close to the end of that championship. Make sure you check that out. And of course, they are racing against, well, it is against the track, it must be said. Interlagos is the track, so it's really going to be an intense week of racing there. And of course, on Saturday night, of course, as always, we have the World Series as well for that before we head on to the Club Series next week. But so that's it from us here tonight on the Club Series broadcast. I've been Paul Smith. Alongside me has been Adam Bath and Samuli Kumo on the cameras. Well done to Diogo Melro and Tom Stanley on the wins tonight here in Season 5 of the Club Series. Take care. Goodbye.